Jim lad. Welcome in, everybody. Uh, hope everybody can hear me. Can you just give me an indication in the chat that you can hear me okay? Oh, Andy. Right, okay. Can hear and see you. All good. Right, okay. Because there were a couple of dropouts between when I put the piece in. Looks like it's cold in the train shed. Yeah, bloody right it is. It really is chilly. Yeah. So out comes the winter woolies and Jim lad. Yeah. I feel like I'm on a bloody trawler in the middle of the North Sea with a heavy suitcase in each hand and no ship under me. Oh, Over Junction, Danny. Hello, Danny. There's spinning wheels. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. There may well be a few dropouts. I don't know if it's something to do with the atmosphere or the internet is playing around, but we'll do the best we can. Right. Let's see who's in. There's Artie. Hello, Artie. Moneybrook Junction is Mark. Hello, Mark. Timber Surf, good to see you. SJ Train World. Hello, Simon. Ivor Junction is Danny, of course. Chuck Schreiber. Nice to see you in. Delft Junction Pete. Hello, Pete. And Wolfsec Scenics is Paul. Hello, Paul. Is that an icicle hanging off your nose? Well, it blooming well ought to be. I mean, it really is very, very chilly. We've been cold soaked all week. I hope the internet has stabilized somewhat. Obviously, I'll see if I have a look back afterwards, but we shall see. Simon, are you watching on the telly? RGJ Trains. Hello, Rob and Grace. You did say you'd hoping to pop in, but it's nice to see you. Yeah, fancy working in temperatures like unearthly. Nope, watching on my phone in bed. Oh, yeah, that's the way to do it. Randall Ellison, the man who's in Pratt, Kansas. Have I got the heater on? I have, yeah, but I was a bit late. My connection is unstable. Am I back? Yes, I don't know what's occurring today, but I don't think the internet is being kind to us. You're back. Right, okay. Well, it's looking a bit unstable today. I don't know why. Bloody place down. I don't think. And I mean, I could. My connection is unstable. All well and keeping warm. Obviously, that's not the case in Artie's case because Artie's down under and they've got summer at the moment. White circle of death popping in and out. Yeah, I think we've got internet problems today. Many have had them. I'm a very unstable person. Yes. Anyway, let's get something running. First of all, let's get this one running. This one should be quite familiar to you. Yeah, Artie's steaming up. I'll bet you are. Here's an old favourite. Well, it isn't really an old favourite because I don't usually run mallards. But I've got the mallard running with some fairly prototypical teak coaches. John Pinney. Hello, John. Nice to see you. Welcome in. Right, let's get the other brute running. I haven't run this one in an awful long time, so keep your fingers crossed. We'll see how it goes. Right, on the controller. Oh, wrong way. And we're off. Things are working. Right, have we had any other interruptions? Or are we okay? Right, a little bit more power on the Deltic. A little bit noisy with this one, but it hasn't been out of the box in an awful long time. It looks like we've stabilised now a little bit. Had a bit of buffering earlier, but it seems okay again now. Right, okay. Thanks for that. I think we're okay. Keep your fingers crossed, Simon. Right, so there is the Deltic. This was the first Deltic that Bachmann brought out. No, I think I'm right in saying there's no lights on it whatsoever. No lights on it whatsoever. So this was the first time that Bachmann used their new tooling on that one. This is Nimbus. I'll give you the number on the box. It even came with etched nameplates. It is 32526 Class 55 Deltic 55020 Nimbus BR Blue. There is the jobby, and that's what it is. This was the first time they used the new tooling, and I think they just wanted to get it out there. This belonged to my dad, and of course when he died it came to me, and this is the first time I've run it. So yeah, it had a bit of a checkered history because it jumped off his track and fell on the floor. Volume seems a bit low. Okay, well, let's see if we can fix that for a start. Yeah, right, let's up the microphone a bit. How's that, Roy? Loud. Sounds fine with me. Okay. Perhaps it's your end, Roy. Maybe you ought to up the volume a little. Anyway, as is usual, I have a hot drink. No steam coming out of that, so it's obviously cooled off a bit. Cheers, everybody. Better. Okay, cheers, Roy. Well, as these are running DC, that's straight out of the box. My dad didn't run it probably for the last 3 years of his life. So my beverage of choice today is plain old gold blend coffee. So that's my drink of choice today, John. Let me turn down my hearing aids. Brand gold blend, which is Nescafe gold blend. Sounds about right. Volume all good. Yes, it's probably a little bit loud. So what? No Irish coffee? I did actually think of slipping a little brandy into it, just to bolster it a bit. But yes, it's Nescafe. Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to keep my ears covered up. Hang on. New York's in the wrong place. There it is. That's better. Oh, yeah. It's chilly today. I'm not sure what we've got in the way of temperature. Let's have a quick look. 2 degrees. So yeah, pretty nasty. And I did a little while ago see Joe Raider sneak in. Well, Joe, I've got a little 460 that I picked up in the week, and I'll be doing some testing of that after the live stream. It's a Bachmann Spectrum 460 low boiler version in Southern livery. So, but it's all black. There's no green on it. It's all black. Warm up the blood a tad in the cold. Yeah, I'm afraid when you introduce alcohol into cold weather, it doesn't actually do much for you. It just gives the impression that it's doing something. So, never mind. There's Dino right down the bottom. Hello, Dino. And yeah, thanks for the heads up. From sunny South Wales. Yeah, thanks for that, Tim. Is it really sunny down there? It's overcast here, freezing cold. Everything in shadow is frost. So every day I've taken the doggy out for walkies, and everything in shadow has been frost this week. So really, we've been cold soaked. Yes, Deltic's a bit noisy, but consider it hasn't been out of the box in about 7 years. And Anthony Dodge, the model train outsider. Hello, Anthony. I hope you're well. Great show last night. Always really fun. I don't know what I must have been smoking at the time, but what breed of dog do I have? Well, it's actually Richard's dog, my son. But Blondie is a Labrador Golden Retriever. So that kind of dog, yeah. She's all action. A lovely. They got a lovely warmth about them. They're really very, very good dogs, and very friendly and sociable. Anyway, I'm going to get you down on the track so you can see some of the action. Sam's Trains official. Hello there. It rained today, so the Australians were all hiding like the apocalypse were occurring. Yeah, maybe it would. But I don't think the rain would actually do much. In 40, 50 degrees of heat, as soon as the rain hit the deck, it would evaporate. Drool here, hates washing, loves muddy pools. You got it, Ivo. Ivo's obviously a very good... He's got a good measure of what the dog breed has to offer. Ray Bertelson, good morning to you from a chilly 21 Fahrenheit. Oh, that's shite. Sorry for my language. Yes, that's really cold. 32 is freezing, the freezing point of fresh water. So 21 Fahrenheit is, quite frankly, disgusting. Oh, there's Clive. Hello, Clive. My huskies are loving this weather. Yeah, I'll bet they are. They're welcome to it, mate. Just give me a little more in the order of spring would be nice. If I had any sense, if I had a half a brain cell in my head which was decent, I would shut the shed down and not reopen it until March. Ivo's rebuilding an O-gauge RPF Zeller rolling road to HO. Oh, okay. Well, good luck with that, Ivo. Need to go till later. Okay, hi. Always good to see you, and thanks for coming in. Right, let's get some action down on the track side. Here we go, guys and gals. Alley up. Aha. The Delphi. Let's drag it back for a little more perspective. Maybe there. Nothing is cooperating today. There we go. Ah, there's Eric in. Good morning, Eric. I hope it doesn't find you too cold this morning. And there's Joe Raider. Hello, Joe. Good morning to you. Yeah, absolutely, Tim. The East Coast Main Line, which for me, the East Coast Main Line's about a quarter of a mile away. Woodthorpe International is Colin. Hello, Colin. How's your welcome? As you can see, Anthony's ex-Mallard is operating exceedingly well, pulling some Hornby era teak coaches. The Delchic that you see coming around in a second is the earliest Bachmann variety. Quite a weighty model, centrally mounted motor, and all of the coaches you see are Airfix, which they produced at the time, which were much better than the Hornby variety. Oh, good afternoon, Mr. King. Just finished a video of the London Underground 1938 stop. Excellent. Well, I shall be putting my feet up in the warm this afternoon, watching that one. Name and number of the Delchic is Nimbus, and it is 55020. I'll give you the box number here. There's the box. Bachmann number 32526. Got a Lima Nimbus. Yeah, this was the first time Bachmann had come out with the tooling. Doesn't have any lights on it, no directional lights, no nothing. It was just the model. It came out, centrally mounted motor. Of course, it was streets ahead of anything that Hornby and Lima had done. The detail on it was fabulous. It's a heavy model, good motor, and then they refined it over the years. Andy, it's not the Nimbus 2000. Oh, there's Digger Evans watching in the background on granddad duties. I do understand, Digger, but thanks for coming in, and say hi to the grandkids for me. Well, according to the site, it's 55020. The only snag with it I could see straight out of the box is that one of the buffers has come off. Obviously, I put that to the back, but you may just be able to catch it as it goes past, that it hasn't got a buffer on the rear. You can't see it really. Right, I'll just slow that down a little. Now it's warmed up a bit and got its lubrication going. There we go. And that has quietened it down a bit. Okay, Eric's on his way out. Cheers for coming, Eric. Always great to see you. Have a great day. Oh, hi, Sue. Hope you're well. And good morning to James. Hello, James. Yeah, Tim, talking of King's Cross, do you remember the big hydraulic buffers they used to have there? I mean, you must remember them if you were anything like me going there back in the day. And we've got Andy Dobson in. Hello, Andy. I should say, hi, Andy. Oh, cheers, Sue. I hope you're staying in the warm today. Yes, they're quite a dark rendition of the BR Blue that Bachman did. In fact, it was quite refreshing. The BR Blues that both Lima and Hornby had used up to that stage were a little variable, and Bachman seemed to nail it with this but their version of BR Blue. As you can see, I think they did a bang up job on the body shell. It's just a shame that they didn't put lights in it on the first effort. But I think it was early days. I'm not even sure when that model came out. It must have been back in the 90s, I think. And yes, Richard has got a more modern Deltic than this one, with sound. So I may well try to have a little forage around and see if I can find that for maybe next week. Come to think of it, he actually has got one of the Acura scale 55s, and that really does have some sound in it. Oh, hello, Dwight. Mr. Tuna Can Express himself. Find those glasses, Dwight. Otherwise, you won't be able to see the Deltic that is about to descend upon you. Andrew, Richard does have one of those, yes. I think he got it second hand, but it was in pretty good nick. I must admit, I didn't think to bring that one out. But then at the time that that particular Deltic came out, it would have been pulling maroon stock, I would have thought. We can always enact rule one. But that's not bad. I think Bachman did a really good job on the body shell of this one. Oh, there's Charlie. Sorry, I missed you, Charlie. Yeah, one of the old Deltics. You must remember those. And there's two of the hard to find 8-window Mark II-D, what are they? Second class. The Roundhouse at Chesterfield. No, never seen that one. The ones that I used to see were stabled at Finsbury Park. And those ones had white surrounds for the cab. They painted the area around the cab white. I don't know why. It's just something they did at Finsbury Park. Yes, Andrew, I've got the Mark 1 maroon. It's just a matter of changing everything out in the freezing cold. I'm sure you understand. Oh, Barrow Hill. Yeah, I believe Richard's been there. He's obviously a bit more active in the out and about than I am. There's Anthony, Middleport Junction. Hello, Anthony. Good afternoon to you. We have Anthony's ex-Mallard with some teak stock. And here before you is the Deltic Nimbus with some FX Mark, what are they? Mark 2Ds. Well, occasionally, Simon, they do specials where they bring the Deltics out and run them on the main line. If you look at my son's video of Elicidan, that's got, I don't know, something ridiculous like 500,000 views or something like that. Funny thing about the Mallard is, I saw that first at Clapham Junction when it was the forerunner to the National Railway Museum. They used to have a museum at Clapham Junction, and that was the first time I saw the Mallard there. And to this day, I can remember that powder blue colour. Yeah, Charlie, it's good to see that you've finally got the Hornby DCC unit sorted out. You'll have to go into a bit more detail about what you did. I saw a little snatch of your video yesterday, and it said you got it sorted out, so that's good news. Yeah, Ivo, that's a very, very expensive set. And the problem with that, it appears to me like a Sunday best set, something you get out once a year. And it's not really worth the price of going there, I don't think. Don't get me wrong, they look very, very, very good. The finish that Hornby have put on them and their operation is immaculate. But it's a Sunday best set. Oh, Dwight, it's snowing again. Sorry to hear that, mate. But that's what living in Illinois does for you. Yes, from what I've seen of the coronation set, it does look very, very, very good. I haven't heard of any complaints so far about the finish and the operation of said coaches. They do seem very good, but they just, for one reason or another, just wasn't on my radar. Am I right in saying that you've got a locomotion number 1, Andrew? I think the coronation set is the best looking thing I've ever seen. Just can't warrant the price and don't do LNER. Yeah, it's one of those niche things. It's nice to have, think it's one of those things that you get out of the box and you could spend an hour just looking over its fine detail and colour. Oh, you haven't? Oh, okay. I must admit the locomotion number one is one that I was considering. But the trouble is you get this pregnant pause before Christmas. You're thinking to yourself, well, what's everybody bought me? And actually, a lot of what I got was not train related anyway. So I needn't have worried. But it did save me an awful lot of money. A hobby train Orient Express, €600. 2 boxes, 5 cars. That's a lot of money. Ah, there's Brian. Hello, Brian. Here's some locos, all running DC, you'll be pleased to hear, that you'll be familiar with. Here is Anthony's X Mallard, running with Hornby teak stock. And here comes an early Backman Nimbus, running with the Airfix Mark 2Ds. Artie's off to bed. Thanks for coming, Artie. Always a pleasure to see you. And I hope your fortunes are ever increasing. Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Yeah, good luck with that, Artie. Ah, we have Eric and Willie. Okay, Eric, here's the mallard with some funky teak stock. And here comes one of the denizens of British Railway diesel, the Deltic Nimbus, with some funky blue and grey Mark 2D coaches made by Airfix back in the 70s. Got to make the coffee. Yeah, you've got to have a coffee, Eric. Right. Let's get the alternate view going from the other side of the layout. Here we go. There we are. How's that? There goes El Celtic. And coming the other way, here comes the Mallard. I could change them, Timber, but there's only so much I can do with them, considering that around the layout there's roughly about 24 feet all the way around and 4 signals. So the blocks aren't very conducive to different timing. I think it depends on the track that I've got available. But there you go. Yeah, I've got to temper that, Brian, with what I actually need. It's a matter of what I require, why do I want it, and how often am I going to run it. Well, Ivo, you've just been to a big show. Didn't you see anything of what you wanted there? Did anyone have a luggage car? Or were they just too expensive or just didn't have one? Yeah, Tim, but the signal you saw before was the mass sequencer. That's the one which is the trigger for the others. And that's the one that has the potential divider on it, which sets the timing. And I had to set it quite fast, otherwise it wouldn't clear in time. I did find the luggage car, but they were either AC or way overpriced. Yeah, that's the other problem. You actually see something that you want, but it's not sometimes not quite the right thing, or it's way over budget. Yeah, the Deltic is a little noisy, but considering it hasn't been out of the box for 7 years, I think it's doing pretty good. Yeah, Tim, I didn't. If you replied to me, I didn't see what you thought about the hydraulic buffers at King's Cross. They were absolute monsters of buffers. Ah, Bognor. There's obviously been an exhibition at Bognor Regis, which is on the south coast of England. I think I've got a cousin down there somewhere. I think my cousin Valerie lives down in Bognor. Oh, you do remember them? Yeah, they were absolute monsters. But I think it was during the 90s when they started remodelling King's Cross that they ripped them all out and put in those ridiculous looking buffer stops. And there's Tony. Hello, Tony. Sorry, that was me on the other channel. I was at Bosnia's show. Oh, right, okay. Well, how was it, Tony? Did you manage to accumulate anything? Syston show next Sunday, but we'll be at Erith and Southampton shows in 2 weeks' time. Yeah, they would be monster difficult to get to. Well, here goes the rest of the coffee. Cheers, everyone. Brian, what's the loco that you're fixing for Pete? those tunes back to back. Eric near Abbeywood Station on the 25th and Southampton show at Eastleigh on the 26th. Oh, that's quite a tour, Simon. Well, John, watch yourself because you can get really chilly really fast in this kind of these conditions. Let's give it maybe a little smaller than last year. That might be on memory. Still enjoy it. Purchase nothing. Well, it doesn't always bring the magic, does it? Well, gentlemen, if you'd all like to hit the like button, sorry, that's the best Daisy I can do today. If you're listening, Joyce, sorry about that. Whoa, we got Trackside Mike. Hello, Trackside Mike. One of our biggest diesels, the Deltic, with some funky blue and grey stock Mark IIDs, which were the air-conditioned, well, the first air-conditioned coaches that we got in this country. Here's Anthony's ex-Mallard pulling some teak Gresley stock, which were Hornby. Brian, I'm dying of inquisitive here. What's the loco that you're fixing for Pete? Maybe you just don't want to say. Went out in the car earlier today. Since it was fixed, I can definitely tell the difference. No problems on start up now. Well, I'm glad to hear it, John. Well, Timber, first of all, the first thing to do was dehair it with from the cat hairs, which was a complete strip down. And what had happened is one of the cats had obviously got one of its claws stuck in the motion, and it had bent the motion really quite badly. So it meant taking the motion off completely and straightening everything. I didn't think I would be able to do it, but there was no choice because I couldn't find any spares. But as you can see, it worked out quite well, and it seems to be running very, very well. Touch wood. And there's Bangotchi Junction, Carl Braun. Hello, Carl. I hope today's treating you well. Here's a Deltic Nimbus 55020 and some Mark IID stock. And here comes Anthony's ex-Mallard with some teak stock. I could cobble together something and a few power plugs on the rolling road and then test it with some locos. Yeah, that's the way I vote. What we use in the way of a rolling road is these kind of things, which are the DCC Concepts rollers. Pop them on the track and it transfers power to the wheels, and yeah, they work fine. They're a bit expensive though.
Those are €60 for two. Instead of 1 litre thing of 14 euro for €80. Yeah. Yeah, it's all cost at the end of the day. Whether it's economic or not to go one way or the other, I suppose it depends on the person who's paying out the money. Well, Anthony, as you can see, your ex-mallard seems to be running very well, actually. I haven't got it spinning too fast, but everything seems to be tickety-boo at the moment. Here comes the Deltic. Let's run her a little faster. She's a little noisy, but after being in the box for 7 years, I'm sure you can understand why. Well, Anthony, it was a complete strip down, and that did take some time. I had to strip down and refit the valve gear perhaps 4 or 5 times before I was satisfied that the motion was reliable. Let's put it that way. So it did take an awful long time, a lot of tweaking. You might liken it to the Falla car system. Quite frustrating, but to the point where you say, I'm either going to stop doing this or I'm just going to rough it out. And I just roughed it out. Nothing to lose, really. It's just a matter of time and patience. Not at all, Anthony. With your wonderful show on Friday, you deserved it 100 times over. I did a strip down to 2 cold in the caddy, so I had to put some clothes on. Yes, doing things like that naked, Pete, is never a good idea. Yeah, but then again, Ivo, Fleischmann is engineered properly. And Randall, I'm afraid you're in a position that you can't really do much until you're home. And it looks like that's going to be maybe another month. The Deltic is now up to speed. There's Marks West Junction Andy. Hello, Andy. Yeah, Pete, that was probably cold water. Both chassis swap and valve gear swap to get DCT chassis from the starter set and the 8-inch to the same locomotive, the same type. Yeah, I understand. And Canadian Locomotive Logistics. Hi CLL. I hope you're well. And I hope you're not snowed in. Just woke up. Yeah, bed. Probably the best place for us in weather like this. Okay, James, have a good day. And thanks for coming in, man. Always great to see you. And I look forward to seeing your Canadian National Rapido train in all its glory tomorrow. Oh, I'm sure you'll lash it out, Ivo. There's usually more than one way to skin a cat, and I'm sure you know all of them. Yeah, Anthony, that's Mother Nature, I'm afraid. Does all kinds of funny things, and as much as the scientists try to explain it away, they're really just prying in the dark. Yeah, the terminal blocks are probably better in that if you don't get a good connection on a terminal block, you can then change that. With any kind of connector, once they're on, they're snapped on and that's it. You have to cut them off and start again, which is a real pain. And Robert's train sets. Hello, Robert. I hope your shoulder is on the improving list. There goes a Deltic in blue and grey, I'm sure you'll remember it. And here comes the Mallard with some teak stock. Working exceedingly well. The Bachmann, this is an early version of the Bachmann Deltic, which is Nimbus. And it's been in the box for 7 years, so it's just having an airing. Millie is out on that, but no problem at the show. Oh, I'm glad to hear it. How was the show? And more importantly, did you buy anything? Very, very crowded, and no. Okay, well, the crowded bit is good, I think. How was the tea at the event? Because I know you measure to a degree how good an exhibition is by the tea that they serve up. So, how was the refreshments? Well, Tony, that's admirable because if you don't really need it, why spend the money on it? So I think you've shown incredible restraint there, and that's admirable. Tea and cake, okay. Oh, well, that's good. Okay. Well, if it's crowded, that means it was popular. So, yeah, I'm glad to hear it. Where was it actually, Robert? Because it's obviously somewhere close, so probably East Coast somewhere. Ah, Tom's Marketing Train Layout. Good morning to you. And yes, a very happy new year to you as well, Tom. Had KR Models leader arrive the other day out of the blue. Found I had ordered it in March 2021. Andrew, which livery did you get? We have a grey one on order, grey silver, but we haven't seen anything of that yet. It looks to be a pretty good model. There's a few problems. One of which I've seen on RM Web is that the NEM pocket has a habit of disintegrating. And I think the first one that came out was the guy who's over in North America, and he had a wheel fall off. But other than that, I haven't heard too many problems. Oh, and the coal that they've put on it is very unrealistic and is double-sided taped down onto the body. So I think that's going to have to go. I forgot to paint the buffer beam red. Yes, that's also something. The other thing I've seen is that they haven't got the wheels quite right. I think they're supposed to be a teardrop shape, and I don't know what they've done with them. But I think the cast wheels look wrong for one reason or another. But as I say, we haven't got ours yet, so I can't say for sure. You can hardly see the wheels. Yeah, so it's probably not going to make that much difference. But to get the Firth Brown wheels wrong is that's a pretty bad step, actually. I'm not sure how they quite managed that. But I was in a live stream yesterday where this was discussed. I think it was Robin Grace's live stream, and he said, yeah, what an ugly looking locomotive. And it really was. Either KR models have got a bit of a track record with getting things wrong or ignoring things that are pointed out. So time will tell with this one. Yeah, Simon. Yeah, I thought I got it right. Interesting looking locomotive. Obviously a stopgap between steam and diesel to try to eke out a bit more life out of steam. But it's a shame it failed, and it's a shame also that we don't have one of the originals to look over at a museum. unpacking the box, they have found a brand new cab forward. Oh, a brand new cab forward in 2010. Now, Ray, was that one of the Intermountain cab forwards, or was it a Broadway Limited, or was it one of the older variants, say a Riverossi? Yeah, Andrew, from what I understand with KR models, the father is over in Canada and the son is over in the UK. So communication is not one of their virtues, from what I understand. Oh, MTH, fantastic. Yes, Richard does have one of those, and the amount of smoke that it puts out is incredible. Is that HO size? Or do you run O gauge? Correct, yeah. Well, if it's the HO gauge one, yes, Richard's got one of those, and it's an absolute monster. We tried getting one of the earlier variants rather than one of the later ones because I believe they changed the sound profile. One of the things with the cab forward is that it's got this sort of panting compressor all of the time. And on the later one, they seem to have done away with that. Yeah, Dwight, you can add a steam unit to just about anything, really. The only thing is, with a soothed smoke unit, which is like a tube which boils up the smoke fluid with a little tiny element at the bottom, they do get very hot. So you've got to keep them away from plastic. But it is possible, but they do take a lot of juice to make them work. We're talking over 10 volts. So ideally, they're better on DCC than they are on DC. They put out a ton of smoke. Yeah, they sure do. Like to see you try it in a Kerno rail motor. Andrew, not going there. Considering that they put the motor inside the little tiny boiler, that's where the smoke would come through. And I would say it wouldn't be impossible, but improbable. What's the best way to do a second level on a railway? I'm toying with the idea of having a terminal station area on the second level. Two ways: either a very, very long, shallow incline, or you could go for something like what do they call it? The big spiral staircase jobs. Help me here, Andrew. A helix. Thank you, JD. Yeah, a helix is possibly the way. It takes up a lot of room, but whichever way you try and do two levels, you've got to do it gently. Otherwise, your rolling stock is not going to make it. John, you could do what I did, says Brian. What? Wreck it and start again? No, I'm pulling your leg, Brian. Yeah, Pete, those teaks are the old version. Plastic wheels with white walls, but they still do the job. and they look good and they run around, and from 3 foot you'd never know them from anything else. Hello, Chaz. Happy New Year, mate. It's nice to see you walking around Sainsbury's. They do very good mackerel in Sainsbury's. So if you're looking for some grilled mackerel, yeah, they do some pretty good stuff there. I hope you're well, Chaz, and keep on with your railway. Always great to see you on there. And to all the folks down at Sainsbury's, I hope you have a very happy shopping experience. Uh, 2% incline, which is 1.1 degrees. An angle up on the phone to set the correct angle. Yeah, that's probably the way to go, Brian. But whatever you do, you've got to do it gently. It's got to be a very gentle incline. Did I consider it when building this layout? No, not really. Would I have done it knowing what I know now? Maybe. But then again, maybe not. Yeah, John, research the hell out of it, because the longer you take, you may actually find that you talk yourself out of it, because it can be a lot of trouble. It would obviously favour something with traction tyres more than anything else. It depends what you're going to run in the way of trains and how long they're going to be. And that's going to tell you how much strength that the loco is going to need to pull it up the gradient. A one-handed trolley. That's funny, Chaz. Ah, I see that Chris is in the chat. Valley's 56XX. If anybody's wondering about the 56XX bit, it's a number range of a class of steam locomotive which starts with 56, and the XX is the amount of numbers afterwards. So if there was a 100 range, it would start 5600 and go up to 5699. That's the XX bit. Did a video of a full set of Hornby Midland Pullmans with magnetic cut. I remember that. Up and down like layout incline. Yeah, they must be very gentle though, Andrew. And did it struggle at all? Because if you've got a fairly scale length Hornby, what is it, HST, that may well struggle. Oh yes, Simon, I have seen that. That's Brian's incline. That is very, very steep. And I think that's in N scale as well. No, worked well. Oh, well, glad to hear it. Was the HST one of their new, the the new range of HSTs, or was it the slightly older variant? No, it's Craig Iron Horse Railways who hangs out with Jenny Kirk. No, don't go there. Well, I don't anyway. I'm afraid Craig was doing some really negative clickbaity stuff, and I just turned off. So okay, Colin, always great to see you. Good luck with the electronics. Always great to see what you're up to with that. Absolutely fascinating. Ladies and gentlemen, Colin. Right, let's grab this. Forgive the shaky cam. Oh, and we are back. Oh, I'm a little low. There we go. That's a bit more like it. Well, folks, I have come to the end. I'm starting to get hungry, and I'm going to hack myself off to the house to grab a bite to eat. I would recommend, in my opinion, no more than 2 degrees. Yeah, it has to be very, very shallow. And I'd like to thank everybody for coming in. The trains up to this point, Brian, have worked quite well. Considering it needs to be, Pete, it needs to be. Considering the Deltic hasn't been out of the box for 7 years, that's pretty good going. Smashing model, obviously Bachmann then developed it where it had lights and all the bells and whistles. Thanks for getting cold for us all. Yeah, no problem, Robert. Bloody cold down here in Barry. Yes, I'll bet it is. Robert, I look forward to seeing whatever you've done at the show. Still, I don't think you said where it was, but I'll watch it. It doesn't matter where you go, Robert. It'll always be good. And let's just rotate these to a stop. Ooh, wrong way. There we go. Silence is golden. Yes, they do make a bit of noise between them. Thanks everybody for coming in. Really appreciate it. Still 35 in the chat, which is incredible, with 42 likes. Excellent. Good stream. Sorry I was late, but I was still sleeping. I don't blame you, Dwight. I really don't. Have a great day, everyone. Cheers, Eric. Say hello to Willie. Ray Burns, yeah, no more than 2% grade. It takes 16 foot to rise 4 inches. Yeah, that's worth considering, John, if you're going to do two. What you could do is do 2 levels and have nothing between them at all. So you could run, say, American stock on one size or Southern at the top and LNER at the bottom. You could do it that way. There's no inclination. There's no reason to have a link between the two. You could always physically put the trains on one level or the other level and run 2 levels. But the choice is yours. It's just a matter of how you want to shake it. Been a pleasure as always. Thank you, Mark. Say hello to Lisa. And thanks everybody for coming in. I hope we don't get any more snow or it drops to something like -10, because you won't see me in the shed if it's -10. Thanks, Charlie. Thanks everybody for coming in. I will catch you in the streams or hopefully next Sunday. And everybody have a good week.
So take care, everybody, and try and stay safe, try and stay warm. And it's been great. Thanks again for your company. So until next time, arrivederci.